allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to start the meeting with a moment of silence, please. Roll call, Andrea.
Council President Chamberlin.
Here.
Councilor Schneider.
Here.
Councilor Stickley.
Here.
Councilor Jeff Steritz.
Here.
And Councilor Scott Steritz.
Here.
We have 5 members present. We have a quorum.
We have quite a few meetings that have minutes, and council has had time to review these minutes. Can we have a motion to move forward on them, please?
I'll make that motion. We approve the prior minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve the prior meeting's minutes moved by Councilor Jeff Steritz and seconded by Councilor Scott Steritz. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Chief Chittenden, I think you have someone to introduce to council in the city of Wauseon?
Council, I'd like to introduce you to our newest full-time police officer. His name is Michael Ohlers. He's been with our department since 2013 as an auxiliary officer. He got sworn in last Tuesday up in the mayor's office, so that's why we're not doing the full ceremony here today. But I did want to bring him up here so you guys can kind of get a face with the name, and so he can come along and introduce himself. So I want to say thank you and congratulations to Michael on being our newest officer. Thank you.
Hope we never have to meet you again.
Just remember our names when you pick us up, right? That's right.
Okay.
At least he's got a last name I can pronounce.
Okay, that's right. Congratulations. Congratulations, White House.
Come on now, though. I'm not lying.
Thank you, Chief. We have no one wishing to address council at this time. So, committee reports. We don't have any, do we? It's still the beginning of the year. Okay, let's move on to our department head reports. Everybody received Chief Scooter's
Sure got that. It's a combined
information?
December plus year-end statistics from the fire department. If you have any questions, we can review those with. Feel free to look me up. We've got 2 new hires at the fire department that once they get through final background and their pension stuff, I will announce those out to you. But we did make 2 hires off the December 10th. So once that's finalized, we'll announce those. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Any questions at all from the report? And you said you could contact you anytime, up or down on these, the
It's all
calls?
pretty much runs the same, yeah. Nothing too drastic change.
Okay, thank you. Chief Chittenden.
Update on our fire we had a week ago last Sunday. We were able to identify 4 male juveniles from here in Wauseon that were responsible for that, and we did get our charges filed on Friday. So they will be going through that. And then I had been working with Troy Armstrong. He had contacted me from the schools about getting an updated memorandum of understanding for Officer Borchard, our school resource officer. We had not actually had one in place since, I believe it was like 2001, somewhere when
the grant went through?
When we very first got an SRO. So we had, between Troy Armstrong, Vice Principal Ryan Odell, Officer Borchard, and myself went through all this, kind of made a few adjustments to it. For the most part, it was still pretty much in place, so we did get that done and signed last week as well. So can continue that partnership with the schools.
Any questions for the chief?
From the PD perspective, Chief, is it something that you set as a high priority to keep an officer in the school?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's very important. I think it's been a great program as far as building the relationships with the kids, and just having that resource, just to be able to get that, because we have so many different times where we may need to work with each other, keeping them safety, safety issues. We have officers at basketball games, football games. You know, they allow us to use their buildings for training for some things. It's definitely been a great tool. It's helped us solve a lot of cases, helped us build a lot of great relationships. There's still people that remember Officer McDonough, Officer McConnell, everybody. You still see him, oh, hey, I remember when you were the SRO. And so it's, you know, years later, that's been a great relationship. So, yeah, I would definitely like to keep that.
Other villages too have jumped on board, like Archbold just put one in, what, a couple years ago?
Just this school year.
Just this school, and
Archbold
Evergreen
just
has.
added Evergreen's on, I believe, their second school year with
Count.
the sheriff's deputy. So yeah, it's
I'm
been
not
a
sure
big
about
program.
Delta.
No, they lost theirs and have not been able to get it back, but I know Nate's talked about trying to get it back.
So it's obviously a good thing.
Delta don't have crime.
Not since the Steers brothers moved out of town.
Now, are they rotating the schools, like, how's that work, or are they?
We have rotated in the past. Right now, I believe Officer Bush is on his third year, so it's nothing we've had to talk about yet. He seems to really be enjoying it, and he's doing a great job at it. So.
Did you mean rotating in
In
the
the
school?
school,
Within the
Oh,
school?
within the school, yes, sorry. Yeah, he'll spend time at each of the schools throughout the day.
He does quite a few. Did he start up the DARE program again?
Yes, this was the second year we brought DARE back to Wauseon schools to the 5th grade. So he's gone to DARE school, done that. He's done security threat assessments for the schools. He's done all sorts of really good stuff, and he has a great working relationship with all the principals and staff there.
Keith, welcome back.
Well, thanks.
When'd you get off the plane?
1 o'clock.
Okay.
It changed.
Yeah. No, I just came here. Didn't want you to miss out.
They just come from Hawaii.
Our water line project, as you know, is out for bid. We're going to open the bids February 7th. That's for South Chute. I've met with Arcadis to look at the small reservoir for the erosion issues that we're having on the west side of the small reservoir, to get that taken care of. They're going to be putting that out to bid here shortly as well. We will be asking for your blessing to put it out for bid, but we'll have the bid packets ready to go here, hopefully for this spring. I met with several folks from Wauseon Machine, referenced the Enterprise detention pond. We talked over a game plan of looking to see what we can do there to mitigate the algae problem that they're having and trying to clean it up a little bit. We're going to take some test bores and see just how much muck and debris that we have there, and see where we can go from there. If it's beneficial just to clean it, or if we have to go with filling a portion of it in, making a portion deeper, or just filling it all in and making it a grass dry detention pond, whichever would work out best. But we're going to be looking to do that this spring and summer. Since winter hasn't really been here, we may be able to get on it a lot sooner than what we had thought.
You're going to jinx that. Going to jinx that.
Well,
haven't you?
I came back from New Orleans, so
Okay.
it's probably going to get cold here anyways. Everything seemed to go well over the weekend, according to Superintendent Arps. We only had one minor incident where a mailbox was taken out by a snowplow, but they are working to get that rectified and taken care of. And if you've seen anything on Facebook reference the stolen train from Depot Park, it was not stolen. The guys from Public Works took it into the shop to fix it up. They started working on it and they didn't like the way it looked, so they want to try and make it look more like an authentic train. So they're working on actually painting it up and making it look nice. Don't know, I haven't seen it yet, so I will be looking forward to see what it looks like when they get it all completed. I think that's all I've got, unless you have any questions about anything.
Just as has
how heavy the snow was. It's lucky it was just one mailbox.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
I seen a couple on airport state got too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Any questions for Keith? All right, Jamie?
As I mentioned at staff meeting, I've been preparing the gap worksheets, sending off to our accountant to get our financial statement started. I did get that first group sent on Friday, so they're beginning to work on those. Also just mentioned to the mayor that Sarah, our human resource officer, and I have been working on preparing a presentation for the employees regarding the new handbooks. So we'll be rolling out some meetings next week and getting everybody to sign off on those. We'll also be informing the supervisors about the changes, and we'll be giving them some forms that they haven't used in the past that we would like them to start utilizing. So that'll be coming next week. And that's all I have tonight.
Questions for Jamie? Okay, Tom?
Working on a number of projects for various department heads, other legal things. Call your attention tonight to the two ordinances. The first one is pretty routine. That is to amend 1144 just to revise the definition so the public service director can also spearhead the sidewalk improvement and reconstruction. And then ordinance 2022 is the ordinance providing for the city law director and assistant law directors and setting a rate of compensation. And the ordinance basically retains the status quo in terms of compensation and the assistant law directors. The one thing I would point out, not only in the ordinance, but the assistant law directors, Kevin Whitlock and Stephen Maloney, have been doing most of the city's prosecution work. And Kevin Whitlock has sort of been taking the lead in terms of the work at the courthouse. And we're going to switch those roles moving forward in February. And Stephen Maloney will be taking the lead, and Kevin will be, of course, available as a backup. And they'll work together, but Stephen will sort of have the lead on that. So I don't know that nothing will change in terms of the way we're helping prosecute, but just the personnel will switch a little bit. I'd be happy to explain the terms of the contract if there's any questions, but again, it's pretty much just retaining the status quo in terms of rates and how it's set up.
Questions at all for Tom? Okay, great. Well, let's move on to our reading of legislation. Ordinance 2020-1, amend Chapter 1144, Sidewalk Construction and Reconstruction to redefine code administrator.
So moved. Second.
Motion to place ordinance 2020-1 on first reading moved by Council President Chamberlin and seconded by Councilor Schneider. Is there any discussion? Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Schneider?
Yes.
Councilor Stickley?
Yes.
Councilor Jester?
Yes.
And Councilor Scotzer?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, ordinance 2020-2, ordinance providing for a city law director, assistant law directors, setting a rate of compensation, and declaring this an emergency.
I'd make that motion.
Second. Go ahead, Jeff. Jeff has a second.
Okay. Motion to place ordinance 2020-2 on emergency reading moved by Councilor Stickley and seconded by Councilor Jeff Steritz. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I do have a quick question. We did, I mean, it's why is it on emergency? We didn't know this contract was coming up, or what?
No, we typically end up waiting to the last minute. I mean,
That's our law director's fault?
yeah.
I just wanted to see
I'll
whose
take the
fault
blame
it
for
was.
that. I suppose we should gin it up at the end of the year when we have all the other year-end ordinances that we typically do, at least in the second year, you know. Duly noted.
Honestly, I don't know, Jeff, and Shane probably can remember this as well. That was something that Meg used to bring forward on things that were coming up. And she would say to council, this is something that you, and then I know that was one of the things that she used to bring up. Nothing against you, because that's just one of those, got into the habit. No one's saying one way or another, but that is something maybe at the end of the year, we can make sure that we are ready to go with that. Because contracts and when they're due and who's coming up and things like that.
And now, is this every year? Or
2 years.
Every two?
every
Yeah,
two
it's every
years?
2 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
Unless council wants to go back on the
No,
contract at
I
the end of
just-
the year or something, but yes, it's every 2 years
years.
contract.
So since January 1, have you been working without a contract?
No.
It actually goes through February 1st.
Okay, good.
January 31st.
Great.
And I think it was set, my understanding is it was set up that way so there'd be continuity as the new council came in. It wouldn't,
Right.
everything wouldn't be changing all at the same
Gotcha.
time.
So it is emergent for you to be paid, right? Right?
But we're happy to
For
wait
us
a
to
month
have
if necessary.
representation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Motion to place ordinance 2020-2 on emergency reading moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Jeff Steeren. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Jeff Steeren?
Yes.
Counselor Scott Steeren?
Yes.
Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
And Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final reading?
Second.
Motion to place ordinance 2020-2 on final reading moved by Council President Chamberlain and seconded by Counselor Schneider. Is there any discussion? Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Jeff Steeren?
Yes.
And Counselor Scott Steeren?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. We have nothing under second or third reading, so we'll move on to new business. We have a motion to reappoint Andrea Gherkin as Clerk of Council for the term of February 1st, 2020 to January 31st, 2022.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion to reappoint Andrea Gherkin as Clerk of Council moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Is there any discussion?
No one ran against them?
No one, well, I just appointed. Don't have to run.
Is there any way the employees that work with her can get out?
I did, okay.
Oh, that's better than before they'd say, I don't know.
Executive session.
Yeah.
All right, is there any further discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Jeff Steeren?
Yes.
Counselor Scott Steeren?
Yeah.
And Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
and we're moving Committee of the Whole to 7:30 in the morning. So we need a motion for that.
I make a motion to change the committee of the whole time to start at 7:30.
Second.
Motion to change the start time of the Committee of the Whole to 7:30 a.m. moved by Council President Chamberlain and seconded by Counselor Jeff Steeren. Is there any discussion?
Can I ask why?
'Cause
I
we-
mean, not
yeah.
enough time?
We tend to be a little windy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend to be a little windy.
We do.
Yeah.
It used to be 7:30.
Yeah, it
Yes,
started
it
out,
did.
when we started, it was.
And then we weren't
7:30.
that windy, I guess.
And then I leave to teach.
Yeah, Ms. Ivan.
It'd be easier.
It's
We can
easier
stay
on
here.
council.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Any further discussion? Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Jeff Steeren?
Yes.
Counselor Scott Steeren?
Yeah.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
And Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay. I need a motion for the approval of the bills, please.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion to approve and pay the bills is presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Is there any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Jeff Steeren?
Yes.
Counselor Scott Steeren?
Yes.
And Council President Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
And a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn moved by Counselor Jeff Steeren and seconded by Counselor Stickley. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
You guys got time for dinner? Go run and get a
Did you bring it?
Subway.
Where's your Subway?
Subway. That's what I was thinking.
Two separate meetings, that's why I said.